Hey guys, this is Comic Uno, and today I'm doing a review for The Amazing Spider-Man issue 18. Before I start talking about this issue, just want to give you guys a couple updates. Of course, I have Comic Uno episode 163, and that's show a review. All the comics I've read this week in one show, and the exclusive comics for that show is in the description below. Also, guys, I do have a new episode of my web show Motherverses, which I would love for you guys to check out and just let me know your opinions. So, check that out. That's annotated, and yes, today I had 3 reviews on Wednesday, which I'm proud of myself. I got those up, and then the rest of the reviews will be on Friday with Comic Uno episode. But let's start talking about The Amazing Spider-Man issue 18. We are still at before Dead No More. Sorry, there's a wire over here, so I can't move. Okay, so with this issue, we get to see the return of a certain character that is kind of polarizing. Either you really liked him or you really didn't. So we have Dr. Octopus returning, where you see his little head over there, which I really do like this cover. Very cool watercolors here. So, awesome cover. Let's see what's going on with the art, though. In the interior. So the art has, for me, improved. Still not perfect. There are times where I feel like there could be more detail in the facial expressions. Still don't love the coloring. I think there's a lot of grays. I think it could pop a little bit more of the coloring. It's just very bland and it's not really exciting, the coloring. So that's one thing I would say that needs work. But yeah, I do think it's an improvement from the other art style we had, which I didn't really like the cheekbones. That was one thing, and everyone looking very down all the time is never exciting facial expressions. So that was one of my complaints about the previous art style. It was a little bit darker, I felt. Here at least it brightens up the world a bit, even though the coloring is still, you know, a little bland. But let's see what's going on with the story. So with this issue, we get to see again Dr. Octopus return. So what does that mean? What does he want to do? Well, first of all, he wants to see what side Anna Marie is on, and he kind of learns that she loved, you know, Peter Parker as Dr. Octopus, but at the same time, she doesn't want to get back together with him. She doesn't like that Dr. Octopus lied, and obviously Peter wasn't Peter at that time. So she just kind of wants to move on. We see that she has moved on, but Dr. Octopus can't stand that. And Dr. Octopus wants revenge once again. He wants to be superior and go into Peter Parker's body again. And his plans are flawed here. He can't do it, but then he realizes, hey, Peter's not actually superior over me. I'm going to come up with a new plan. And that was the whole story. What did I think of the issue overall? I'm gonna state that I wasn't a huge Superior Spider-Man fan. You know, I liked what it did for The Amazing Spider-Man. I'm glad, you know, the sales did really well, and there are stories here and there I liked, but I wasn't a major fan of the story arc as a whole, and I'm not a big Dr. Octopus fan. So, you know, obviously being subjective here, this issue wasn't for me. And that is going to be, I think, for this issue, very polarizing. If you love a Superior Spider-Man, it continues that story. It's very much, it feels like an issue of Superior Spider-Man. But if you like Peter and you want to read this story for Peter, Peter really hasn't been in an issue as a lead in a couple issues now, because last issue was the Prowler issue. So that's another problem I have, is that if it wasn't for the Prowler issue last issue, I think this wouldn't have been as jarring. But because we had the Prowler issue, we really haven't had a lead issue with Peter since before the Prowler issue, so it's been 2 issues now. I think this issue could have came maybe 2 issues later or 2 issues before the Prowler. I would wanted it to be split up a little bit more. It just feels like, hey, I want to see Peter. I'm reading this title for Peter, not for the subjectiveness of Dr. Octopus and the Prowler. So that was one problem. But again, like I said, if you like Superior Spider-Man, you're going to like the narration here. But I also feel like it's kind of old news type thing. It's been done before with Superior Spider-Man. So I feel like I would like Dr. Octopus going in another direction than saying, I'm superior, yeah, let's be superior, let me take over someone's body. It's just like we've dealt with that for 30-something issues, so that was another downfall of this issue. I guess one thing I liked was, like, they fleshed out Anna Marie a little bit more here, but again, that wasn't a character I really cared for either way. So for me personally, I gave this 2 stars. I didn't really have a big enjoyment from the issue, just because I wasn't a huge Superior Spider-Man fan. I felt like this book was kind of repetitive. I'm sure there's an end game, and maybe I'll like the end game, but for this issue, I wasn't really feeling it. But let me know in the comments below what you thought. This is Comic Uno. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. Don't forget to like my Facebook page. Also, description below, there are links for my comic book, Like Father, Like Daughter. And don't forget to like the Facebook page of Like Father, Like Daughter. And I'll see you guys later.